Hi and welcome. Do you know how to complete the Swiss tax return and what deductions you can claim? Are you subject to the Swiss withholding tax and want to apply for a refund? If you are interested in these topics, stay tuned. After the intro, you will learn the 7 most important tips for saving taxes in Switzerland, and this totally free. My name is Rico Gass, and I have more than 20 years of experience as a professional financial advisor and tax consultant.
So, here are my 7 most important tips for saving taxes in Switzerland. First, commuting costs. Swiss tax laws favor commuters who use public transportation. If you get to work and back by bus, train, boat or other common carrier, you can deduct up to 3,000 Swiss francs of transportation expenses from your taxable income. If you commute by car or motorcycle, you can still claim a deduction, but only if you meet certain criteria. Criteria vary between cantons, but you will typically be excused for commuting by car if your home or your workplace is located far from a public transportation connection. So that means 1 kilometer or more, for example. Or if commuting by car is significantly less time consuming than commuting by public transportation. My next tip is the second and the third pillar, retirement savings. Now this is an important one. Did you hear about the third pillar? If you tuck away money in a third pillar savings account or policy, to improve your social security and retirement savings, make sure to claim the 3A tax deduction. The limit on the amount of money you can save in the third pillar changes occasionally, but the current limit for the year 2019 is actually 6,826 francs for employees and 34,128 francs for self-employed individuals. You might also make additional payments to your second pillar pension fund. You can also deduct these voluntary contributions from your taxable income. If you are not sure what to do and how it works exactly, just drop me an email. My advice will be free of charge. You will find my email in the info box below the video. My third tip are the work-related expenses. Being employed often brings considerable added cost, including, for instance, the cost of special clothing, cars, equipment, office space and reference materials, and so on. A flat rate deduction applies to costs which are directly related to your career. Special limits apply to cars. For example, the federal tax deduction for privately owned cars used for work are 0.7 francs per kilometer. The deduction for bicycles and motorcycles is limited to a maximum of 700 francs per year. Other costs directly related to work can be deducted from your taxable income up to a maximum of 4,000 Swiss francs per year. For federal tax purposes. Cantonal and municipal deductions vary between cantons. If going home for a lunch break is not an option because you work far from where you live, you can deduct the cost of eating out from your taxable income. This deduction is applied at a flat rate of 3,200 francs per year for federal tax purposes. 1,600 francs if your employer provides you with a discounted meal. Cantonal tax deductions for eating out vary. My next tip, childcare. If you are a working parent, you're probably well aware of the relatively high cost of childcare in Switzerland. Fortunately, parents can find some financial relief in the tax deduction for childcare costs. If you cannot take care of your child yourself because you're working or studying, fees charged by a third party, for example a daycare center, kita and so on, for childcare can be deducted from your taxable income. Tip number 5. Continuing education. The cost of continuing education for the purpose of career development is deductible. However, this deduction only applies to continuing education for adults and not to primary education. The maximum deduction varies between cantons. You are generally required to provide receipts. The canton of Zurich allows you to deduct up to 500 Swiss francs without providing any receipts. Tip number 6. Costs for accidents and illness. Healthcare expenses which are not covered by health insurance can be deducted from the taxable income. Such costs may include out-of-pocket expenses like health insurance deductibles and co-insurance payments, and the cost of medical care which is not covered by the insurance. Spending on prescription glasses or contact lenses, treatment by licensed homeopaths and dental care can also be included in this deduction. However, most cantons and the federal government only deduct the portion of healthcare costs which exceed 5% of your net income. Tip number 7. Interest on debt. In most cases, the interest which you pay for loans is tax deductible. Loan repayments, on the other hand, are not. Interest charges which can be deducted from taxable income include those for personal loans, credit card loans and mortgages. Interest charged for leasing rates for your car, for instance, and construction loans are not tax deductible. Finding a good tax consultant can be way more efficient than trying to find your way through the tax maze on your own. Often a single consultation is all it takes to get an understanding of the tax deductions and regulations which apply to your situation. My conclusion: all cantons offer you a free software. It's normally called EasyTax, that you can download for free, or you can complete the tax return even online. You will find all the information you need on this on the home page of your cantonal tax office. In the info box under this video, you will also find a link to a free PDF checklist of all the documents you need for the tax return. You will also find a written summary of my 7 tax saving tips as a free PDF download below in the info box. If you need help filling out the tax return, contact me by email gpc.business@bluewin.ch. But honestly, for only 89 francs I do all the work for you. I do the tax declaration for you. Simple and easy. If you let me do your tax return, there are many advantages for you. First, the price starts low at only 89 francs for singles and married couples without real estates. Second, it makes sure no deduction will be forgotten. Third, your tax return is done on time. Save yourself some expensive reminder fees and troubles with the authorities. If you're late with your tax return, the tax office will charge you a reminder fee of at least 50 francs. Your tax return will be completed professionally. It's easy and convenient. We professionally fill out your tax return while you enjoy your carefree leisure time. So, do not hesitate. Contact me now. You can send me an email at gpc sales.business@bluewin.ch. Thank you for listening to my 7 tips and have a good day.